All rise. Please have a seat. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me here today for case number 234A 16B-C26B43B. As a way of beginning, we will take weight per usual. Here is today's subject. All right, as you can see, the pen almost meets the limits of the scale. 90.94 grams. It's a heavy pen. In comparison, if I were to put my Muji aluminum pen on there, it's only 21 grams, so just a little bit of context for you. This is, according to the Amazon listing I bought it from, this is a Duke Fude pen, bent nib, medium to broad, art, handwriting, drawing, calligraphy, heavy, large fountain pen for collection and sketch. Now, I think there might have been some amount of tag or keyword loading going on there in the title of the pen there, but I think maybe just the word is maybe Duke Fude pen, which Fude, if I'm saying that right, means that it does have this bent nib. Now, I really haven't gotten into bent nibs much before. I think I do have one or two other. In fact, I remember buying a Sailor Fude pen before at the first pen con I ever went to, but I never really used it or tried it out. And this one has been suggested to me once before a long time ago, and I put it on my Amazon wish list, and then one or two people suggested it to me again, and I thought, hey, it's already on my wish list, I better just get it. You know, they pushed me over the edge. This pen is $40. It's 90 point something grams, 90.94 grams, right? That's what it was last time we weighed it, I think. And then I want to weigh it again after we put ink in it, and maybe we'll see how many 0.05 grams of ink we put it in or something, right? Well, you think that'll show up, the difference between then and now after we put ink in? That would be pretty cool. Anyways, looking at some details here, there is a, I'm sure, very valuable, almost little red ruby gem on top. You know, it's probably just a piece of glass, but it looks cool. And then there's like some luchador masks going down the clip. I think all of this here, no, this is really, no, maybe these are, maybe not luchador masks, because this has a very, besides that, this does have a very kind of oriental theme to it, right? All these little kind of Chinese characters and little dragons and stuff, and I don't know about this. This maybe looks like it has some texture, but it's completely smooth with these little bits of iridescent mother of pearl and inlaid in there. Oh, I just looked at the listing, Amazon listing again. Apparently these are supposed to be Beijing opera masks, and I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant to take the word of the listing again for it, but that does seem a little bit more possible than luchador masks. Pretty cool though. Very heavy, very big in my hand. Once again, this is it next to the, the pen I'm used to using. It's bigger, thicker, longer, pretty much in every conceivable way. It is more pen. Even got some nice details in here. And around the band here, there's some little clouds and it says 510. Does this part turn here? This part doesn't turn. Maybe it's for, I think this part is designed so that you can post it if you want to, which, I mean, posting it looks cool just because since the cap is so cool, you know, you want to have all this ornate stuff here on the end of the pen, but I also feel like it might get really heavy because it's already a heavy pen. So if you, while you're writing, you might want to be able to shave off a few grams if you can. Anyways, let's see if we can get some ink in here. nice. It comes with a piston converter that says Duke Germany. Okay, Duke is the brand. And I will say this, if you look on the listing, I'll put a link in the description. There are a lot of other designs that this pen comes in. Well, maybe not a lot, but 2 or 3 other designs. They're not all this weird Chinese over-the-top thing, but I got the one that looks kind of the most extravagant. There's a little spring in the converter here. I'm starting to realize that some of these have maybe 1 ball in here, 2 balls, a spring. And that's, I think, just to do things like this is to help keep, maybe ink from getting stuck up in this area and, break the surface tension so that it goes down here and flows out the nib. There's something a little bit different about the nib here. Maybe this has something to do with the Fude part, which I'm sure if I'm saying Fude wrong, that will get on someone's nerves quickly because I'm going to be saying it a lot, and I'll be saying it wrong a lot. There's some little Chinese characters on there. All right, I'm going to use a syringe here, and where's my bottle of ink? It's got to be around here somewhere. Wait, what language is this? Wait, I have that app. It says, what does it say? The truth of the dark? The true meaning of numbers. Water and light fastness, I saw that. I think oh. All right, I'm okay. I can squirt some in here. Maybe give this a couple of turns until I see some action in the nib like I am almost right away, which is good. Let me put the body of the pen back on there. Is it weird that I can't really tell if this part here is metal or not, or just like a metally looking plastic? Come on out. Don't be shy. You can do it. Oh, that was a very dangerous thing I did, which was giving a little downward shake, because sometimes you can shake a droplet right out onto your paper, or right out onto your desk beside your paper, or right back up into your own face. So I don't think it's really flowing just now. I just kind of shook some ink out of it. I don't know if this is truly what I want. So the idea behind this is that if you lie the nib down flat across the paper like this, you can draw a nice big fat broad line like this, right? Very satisfying. Or you can rock it up a little bit more, draw lines like this, or even more, draw in finer lines, right? Upside down maybe. Turns into kind of a calligraphy pen. I don't know if that's intended or not, but I feel like I learned recently that I should try it upside down, or at least that's a common. Oh, that's kind of actually really cool upside down. It's got an interesting scratchiness to it. It feels like I'm writing with like a quill or something when it's upside down. But anyways, no, this is how we want it. I think it's actually working now. Actually, nice, broad, full, meaty, gushy strokes. Look at them go. We might as well look at it under the microscope really quick. I'll try not to get too carried away. But I mean, it's hard not to now that we have that thing, right? All right, I think I found some memory card. I don't know if it's the same one, but these things are so tiny. One day we'll be able to invent bigger memory cards. Memory cards more difficult to lose. All right. This is pretty close up. Pretty close. These are broad strokes covering a lot of paper here. And by a lot of paper, I just mean these little dots here. Oh yeah. So now you can kind of see how it works there. It doesn't really look like the nib flexes a lot, and in fact, it kind of looks like there's a weird little thing going on in the middle of the nib there. Actually, I'm not sure. Is there a triple nib? No, that's just one side of it. I can't really tell. I'll have to review the footage later, but it's very satisfying how the ink flows out of there, no doubt. No doubt about it. If I turn it over, you'll see that there really is 3 nibs. This really is another kind of triple tail, isn't it? Doesn't work quite as well right there. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to try raising it up a bit, see what a different view looks like up here. So this is slightly zoomed out now. Zoom. All right, that's pretty great. I'm satisfied for now. Here is a look at the nib itself and the little Chinese inscriptions thereupon. You can see the kind of construction there of the little plate on top. And some little scratches there, the feed underneath. It looks pretty sweet. Very cool. And just for good measure, a little bit of paper towel action, just to prove that everything we know and hold dear is still true. Oh yeah. This is how I use up all my ink, isn't it? All right, let's draw now. Let's do it. All right, so I got down to drawing with this, and I won't say anything about the art today, except to mention that there's 4 drawings featured here, all pretty quick and sketchy. Oh, I'm talking about the art. This pen pretty much felt like the fountain pen equivalent of drawing with a Sharpie. The way I used it, I didn't actually get that much line variation, which I guess is the whole point of a Fude nib, because I pretty much, just the way I naturally hold pens, I didn't force myself to hold it a bunch of different ways, right? Because it just felt unnatural to do that. Every now and then I did kind of rock it down a little lower to get nice broad strokes for some fill, but mostly it was just kind of the same kind of line width I get from a Sharpie, like I was saying, kind of a dull Sharpie at that. But anyways, what I was saying was, I don't want to talk about my art too much because I was just reading something, something I had to read for school actually. I'll talk about school for this video probably, because it was saying that if we, the selection was saying artists shouldn't talk about their art too much or at all. Obviously, this person could be totally wrong. Sometimes I think it is really good to talk about your art, but this person, the point they're trying to make, I think, I don't remember who it was. I probably should remember, but I'm not being tested on this stuff. In fact, I have 5 classes this semester, and I have no tests or quizzes or midterms or exams or finals or anything for any of them. That's how you know it's a BFA, I guess. Anyways, I just thought I'd point that out. There are a lot of final projects, like big projects that have to be finished by a certain time and turned in at the end. So But I mean, just not like, there's not any like memory I have to like, I mean, information I have to commit to memory, like remembering who wrote what and said what, or dates and times and stuff like that, which I think is good. But I'm still being presented the information, and then I have to there are situations in which I have to kind of parrot it back in a sense. I don't know why I'm trying to defend my education to you, but I don't really care what you think. I kind of do. I do care what you think a little bit, but not really. Okay, anyways, what I was saying is this person was positing that an artist shouldn't talk about their artwork because then they'll have less to say through the artwork. At least that's what I got from it. If they explain their art, then what will be the purpose of the art? Because I guess the art is for saying things itself, right? And so if you don't write things out in words and say things verbally, then all of your feelings, all the things you try to want to say, right? All these emotions, thoughts, all of this will kind of get pent up. You'll ball it all up inside. And if art is, the main way you have left to vent and express yourself, then that'll be the only way it can come out. And maybe your art will be richer, more vibrant somehow through it. Good or bad, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting point, though. It's okay if people don't understand your art. You don't always have to explain everything. In fact, I think some of the art I appreciate the most is the stuff I didn't understand at all. And sometimes I probably looked at it and I totally missed what the artist's intention was, or I just looked at it and thought, I have no idea what this is, or they're also, this is probably what artists are most afraid of, is people looking at their art and then looking away without getting a certain message or feeling that they intended, right? But that probably just means that they have been talking about their art and maybe they didn't have enough of those feelings pent up, and their art isn't maybe potent enough, right? They weren't pouring enough of their feelings and thoughts into just the art. I don't know. I'm just rambling now, but so I have a chair making class, which is going good. I'm just starting on my first full-scale prototype. I made a few small scale prototypes that were a 1/4 inch to a foot scale. I cut those out of MDF with a kind of a CNC router machine. But now with the full-scale prototype, I went to the lumber store, bought a bunch of 5/4 poplar, and I'm cutting those out. It's a lot of, I'll show you when I'm done. I haven't really been recording any of it because it's taking too long anyways. And it's like this whole, time management thing. I have no shortage of stuff to do, right? I wake up at 6:30 every day, go to bed at like 11, and I'm pretty much doing stuff all day, every day. And I'm not trying to like say I'm complaining. I just wish there were more hours in the day because I have so much to do that I want to do that I'm loving all of it. None of it feels like a grind. The only part of it that ever feels like a grind is probably video editing, just because it's kind of slow and there's other stuff I want to be doing more. But I've complained about video editing before. I don't really want to complain about it just because it's kind of like my job, and it's doing really well for me. So I don't really want to complain about it. But yeah, I have plenty of assignments from school. I'm trying to just, stay in between doing assignments, getting them done on time or ideally ahead of time, and also making enough videos, because I'm like lining up sponsorships and stuff, and they, the sponsored content, there's like these contracts and they want them done, within a certain time, like by the end of February or early March, so on and so forth. So I have kind of like time constraints that way that I didn't used to have with YouTube. But that also kind of keeps me motivated and going forward. So it's probably good in the long run just to have those kind of little nudges and pokes in the back of my head. I think it's good. I don't think I'll get burnt out, but I'm keeping my eye on it. Don't worry. It is kind of a lot, but I think it's a lot in a good way, especially like since after like the past like several years or so, since like 2000, for a long time, I've been on my own schedule, been able to do what I want all the time. Not to say that I haven't been working hard, but now I have there's a lot more outside constraints poking at me, right? It's just a little bit different, and I'm adjusting, I'm trying, and I just want you to know I'm not miserable, even if, none of you know that I feel a little bit stressed sometimes. I think it's like a good stress. I'm kind of like reveling in it, right? Like stuff is, I think I got bored of not having a little bit of stress in my life. Maybe that's one reason why I applied to school. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if anything I just said made sense, but I feel like I say that a lot also, that I don't know if anything I said made sense, but anyways. In one class, we're doing like a lot of drawing, like hand drafting, practicing drafting. In another class, I just finished a big color theory assignment, and we moved on to assignment where we have to design a temple. And that's very open to interpretation. The whole idea of a temple, it's not necessarily like a religious thing. It's more just like the idea of like sanctuary, and it can mean a lot of different things to us. So I've just been playing around with that. We're in the very beginning stages of that. So I'm having a good time with everything. I used to not enjoy. One of the reasons I used to not have already said this about how I used to not enjoy commissions and taking commissions, because I would say it feels like homework, but now I'm getting homework and I love the homework. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe it's the specific assignment, people say exactly what they want out of it, because a lot of the time when I get commissions, I don't know what the difference is, but I'm enjoying it. All right, I gotta go now. Stuff to do, All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day, okay? I think it's about to start snowing here, so I'm gonna go research how to make a snowman. I think there's something to do with bits of coal and a carrot, and maybe raisins. Okay, bye.